Retrograde will be happening from the 1st of April until the 25th of April 2024. If you'd like to book a reading, link in my bio. Taurus. This Mercury retrograde is all about rest, rejuvenation, and time out. You're going to feel that sleepiness. You're going to feel more exhausted. Doesn't mean you cannot complete things, especially things you've been working on for a very long time. However, any projects that you recently got into, this is a time for you to revise, review. It's not a good time for you to start anything new. Revision is good and reflection. Now, here's the important bit. If there's any secrets that you're keeping, this is where you're most likely easier to spill the beans and say whatever's on your mind. Mercury influences your communication as well as shows you the secrets of others. That can also come to light during this time. This Mercury retrograde is really great for you to close off bad habits that you want to kick to the curb. You're now done with that, old patterns within yourself. You could be feeling more sensitive emotionally as you are deeply reflective on the past, and this is good for healing of your subconscious so you can move forward. So you are looking back. People from your long-term past for you haven't seen in a really long time now can re-emerge within your life, and you might see them, they might pop up. This is also a time for you to revisit past emotions, past memories that have been from a long time ago that now come back for you to basically release and heal. This is the time for privacy, downtime, rest, and rejuvenation. So use it wisely. Leo, this Mercury retrograde is all about expansion and growth that you are revising. How have you been expanding and growing? This is where you could also be feeling a bit restless, stuck in a rut, like you're just doing the same thing over and over. Watch for miscommunication when it comes to editing at work, especially at work when you were, working on projects. This is where you could find a lot of delays, or maybe that the way you're expressing it comes out not the way you intended it to, hit home for the rest of everyone. So just be aware of that. Great time for completing anything that you basically have been working on previously. It's great for completion, higher education as well. So maybe there was something that you're completing that you've already been studying. This is also a really good time for you to look back at something maybe previously, right, that you have been learning or educating yourself upon. You can decide to now take it further, like, oh, I used to, study that, deeply. Maybe now is the time for me to get back into it. So really good time for a spiritual practice as well. It's also a good time for, really exploring your mind and revisiting old thought patterns and beliefs you have about yourself that you are now seeing whether you want to keep them, release them, how do you feel about them. Great time for basically, you might be really not the best time, but you might be in the mood to travel. If you are and you have travel plans and you are going away on vacation, holidays, and traveling, make sure that you check your itinerary because you can come across the most delays. So it is great because you are looking to get out of a rut, but at the same time, do so wisely. Scorpio, this Mercury retrograde brings a lot of delays to your work life. So delays in terms of projects you're working on, miscommunication with colleagues, co-workers, and just things seeming more chaotic at work and things moving along a lot slower. So this can be frustrating, especially when there's things you need to get done. Breathe in, breathe out, take it slow and easy because that is what Mercury retrograde is there for. And it is a time for us to reassess and slow down and process exactly what we are working on more wisely and more attentively. It's so important. Please read your work documentation as well. So important as in terms of things you're working on. When it comes to your health, you will be revising your health. How are you been taking care of yourself when it comes to your health? And it's not the best time to making changes, but you can re-implement old ideas that you have had for your health that worked for you. When it comes to your routine, you can be hit with the most delays and mishaps. And when I say your routine, you get up in the morning, you're ready to get out the door, but then you notice, oh, the outfit you wanted to wear is stained. And now you have to find something else. And it's kind of that sort of delay for you. Little things in your routine can be very delaying to your productivity, is what you find. How productive you are is a lot slower, but it's okay. Take this time to process and reprocess what you're working on. Really a good time to complete work projects. Do not start anything new. And when it comes to any, miscommunication with colleagues, this is a time to really think before you express yourself. Don't get into it. It's not worth the stress. Aquarius, this Mercury retrograde can be very challenging for you mentally, and your communication. Conflicts can arise with neighbors, with unresolved issues with siblings. You can have the most delays when traveling. If you have a vehicle, please do all the checks on your vehicle, because you can have delays in terms of breakdowns. There's also a time where you can have missed appointments or appointments going disarray, especially. So be very vigilant when booking important appointments for you. Running errands, your to-do list, or things you need to do can be delayed a lot during this time. And things just don't work out effectively. They almost slow down for you. You feel like you're under a mental fog. Old conflicts can come back. This is a time where your mind is more reflective of the past. This is a time where you might even find that people are not communicating with you. You feel like communication is cut off, or you are misunderstood, or the situation is misunderstood. This is a time, really, everything of importance, from appointments to errands, slow down. And your vehicle, make sure you check that, because you can be hit with a lot of delays in terms of travel and transportation, getting from A to B as well. So, and you're under a mental fog the most. So please make sure when booking everything that you are really processing things properly. You have the dates down, you know where you're going, what you're doing. You are very aware, because miscommunication with neighbors, unresolved issues with siblings, things can happen in your environment that delay you. So take it easy. Be gentle with yourself. Pisces, this involves your money. So delays with payments coming through to you, delays with money matters, revision over your financial situation, your earned income, your skills and talents. This is where you can pick up an old skill or talent that you used to have and now bring it in all of a sudden. This is a great time for you to process your finances, as well as your sense of self-worth and value, and what you truly wish to go after and how you are going to accomplish that. This is not a time to start any new projects out of the blue about finances or earning more income. Picking up old projects that you thought about a while back will be more beneficial, and monies owed to you for a while can come through, but there will be delays on payments and delays with finances. You are revising your sense of self-worth at this time, and what you truly value and what is most important to you, Pisces. Aries, this Mercury retrograde is happening in your sign. This is all about you. This can impact any area of life when we have Mercury retrograding within our sign. This is about you. This is you rethinking and revising various areas of your life that you see are no longer working. People from the past can come back into your life. This is where you can have a lot of relationships, situations, and just like all types of relationships. This is about you can come back into your life for you to revise, review, to gain closure and healing. There is a solar eclipse happening in your sign on the 8th of April. So this is truly a moment of empowerment for you. And you can be feeling like you are not understood at this time the most. But it's a time for you to actually go within, healing yourself and understanding yourself and finding the confidence to move forward once the retrograde is done. But it's a total revamp, reevaluation of self and what you usually want in terms of every aspect of your life. Cancer, you are going to revise your career, your goals, your long-term plans. You are going to come across more delays when it comes to your career, business matters, even your reputation and how you step up as a leader. This is where people are going to question your sense of authority the most in how you are presenting yourself, because your reputation is being hit by this Mercury retrograde as a whole. So think before you speak, right? This is a time to think before you speak. Revise your career and your goals. Long-term goals that you have, you might come across more delays, more frustrations, mishaps in terms of career. This is a time for revision. You might also come across more conflict when it has to do with anyone in authority. So employers, parents, teachers, anyone that's in authority over you, all of a sudden it feels this is more challenging, there's more conflict. So take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. And when you communicate, think about how you express yourself. Do maintain your healthy boundaries. Do not give your power away, but still focus on how you can grow by revising plans. When it comes to anything that you've been working on for a long time in terms of career, this is where you can finally actually complete it. Not a great time for you to start a new business, come up with a new career plan, anything like that. If you've been fed up at maybe your career or job or so forth, right, for a really long time, you can bring that situation to an end. But not the ideal time for you to just, start something brand new you haven't thought of ever before. This is a Mercury retrograde, and when it's done, you will realize that, oh my goodness, what was I thinking at that time? So take it easy. Capricorn, this Mercury retrograde has you having conflict, misunderstandings within your home, domestic living situation. So it affects your home. It also impacts anyone living with you. Anyone that you care about in terms of you invite into your home, all of a sudden there's more conflict. There's more conflict with family members. Past family members can re-emerge into your life. This is a time to have healthy boundaries. You are more emotionally sensitive. You might be feeling like spending more time at home. Rest and rejuvenation. Your deepest emotions, your most emotional and private emotions are coming to the surface, and you're more vulnerable during this Mercury retrograde. It can bring a lot of miscommunication with anyone that comes to your home, family members, and so forth. So think before you speak. This is a time to slow down and take it easy, right? If you are moving home, make sure that you basically are, fully prepared, as delays can happen, right? So be prepared for that. This is just to make you aware so you don't feel extra frustrated, like, why is everything going this way? This is just a time to slow down. If you are thinking about signing anything like leases and so forth, please read, and make sure you read the fine print too. Libra, your relationships, one-on-one relationships, both personal and professional. You can have miscommunication, misunderstandings within these relationships. However, this is also a great time for deep healing within these relationships in terms of, setting healthy boundaries, seeing where the line is. And I feel as though you, Libra, particularly have been growing a lot since your full moon lunar eclipse that just passed. So healthy boundaries, time to maintain those, but definitely a time where you can come across miscommunication, those relationships, exes and people from the past, associates, anyone that you knew can now re-enter into your life. Do Remember when communicating to think, clearly, express yourself with patience, consideration, you know. And also during this time, if you notice anyone is needing some space and quiet time, give them that space and quiet time. It's so needed because you can find, maybe someone that you communicate with quite often, all of a sudden is not communicating with you as much. So give people time. This is a Mercury retrograde with an eclipse season. Gemini, this Mercury retrograde has you having miscommunication, misunderstandings with friends, associates, people that you choose to communicate with and, spend your time with, the people you choose. This is where you can see a lot of conflicts happen even in social circles and social dynamics. So now's the time to really reassess your social interactions and the company that you keep. All friends may re-emerge. You will also be under, this energy of Mercury retrograde, helping you revise your future goal and plans. But like it's maybe plans that you had, or maybe a future goal that you had, maybe life got in the way. Now you might be feeling like, I want to continue that. I want to move forward with that. Friendships that meant something deeply to you on a soulful level is what you'll be thinking a lot about. Anyone that touched your soul in the deepest way, you'll be contemplating a lot about them, and old friends will also be contemplating about you. Sagittarius, this Mercury retrograde can bring miscommunication, misunderstandings during your dating romantic life. So if you're on a date, this is where you can have that misunderstanding or a conflict can come up. Also, exes can return within your life, especially people you dated previously. Miscommunication with children, especially if you're speaking to the youth or have children, you'll have that. Great time to complete all creative projects or pick up a hobby you used to have. However, if you started anything new, this is where you are revising that creative hobby. But when it comes to your dating life, remember, if people are taking some time out, give them their space. This is a Mercury retrograde, especially in dating, as a lot of ghosting, miscommunication can happen in your dating life. Sagittarius. Virgo, delays when it comes to financial matters. This is a time for you to revise your budget and how you're spending your money. This Mercury retrograde can bring secrets to light. This Mercury retrograde has you healing old wounds within yourself, your most intimate relationships, and setting healthy boundaries as well. Secrets, when they do come to light, this is a time to make you more aware, as Mercury retrograde gives us that beautiful gift of clarity. Miscommunication in your most intimate relationship. So think before you speak and how you express yourself. Release all fears and anxieties during this time. It's a great time to rid oneself of all fears and doubts, insecurities too.